Hello, Miss Samesa. How are you doing today?
I'm doing pretty good.
That's great. How's your day been today?
Um, so far so good, I guess.
Why do you say you guess?
Well, honestly, I've been suffering with depression and anxiety. It's been getting worse lately since my mom been sick.
Okay. I'm sorry to hear that. What do you do as far as like trying to work on like your depression, anxiety? What are certain things that you do?
Well, I've been trying to like meditate and to like calm myself down more. Trying to stay on my medication like I'm supposed to. Not
Okay.
miss my medication, but lately it's been getting worse, like because I've been going through so much with my mom. Like I said, my mom being sick.
Right. So, can I ask you a personal question? If you miss a day taking your medicine, what does that day look like?
It gets me off balance. In the beginning when I first got diagnosed, I was about 18 years old, and I didn't know what was going on with me. I was having some days I would sit in the house, wouldn't leave the house for 3 to 4 days. I would close myself in the room, not comb my hair, just not want to deal with people, period.
Right.
And my mom, she noticed that something was going on with me. I would be getting angry, and I would also have these spouts of where the room would spin. I would get dizzy. I couldn't hardly breathe. I was having chest pains. I remember one time I thought I had a heart attack.
That's the
It was
anxiety.
the anxiety.
The anxiety of it.
It was the anxiety, and I had to learn to try to cope with things. But lately it's been hard to cope with things. But I'm getting better. I'm getting
Got
better.
you. Okay. Do you feel as if your mom starts to get better and not so sickly, would it kind of help some when it comes to like your anxiety and depression?
I think so. Honestly, I spoke with my mom yesterday, and she told me that she's getting better. She's feeling better,
Okay.
and
That's a blessing.
I start feeling better. Just to know that she's feeling better.
Right.
It's like when I found out my mom had cancer, I thought the world was over, because my mom is my best friend, and it's like I started getting anxiety attacks almost 2 times a day, and but I think I'm getting better.
Did that feeling of getting anxiety like 2 to 3 times a day, did that come from like the fact that you feeling like probably you might lose your mother?
Definitely, because my mom and my brother, they are all I really have.
Right.
And the idea of losing my mom, it was overwhelming. So I had to take time. I've been meditating. I've been taking my medication. I've been talking to people too, because
Right, that
I was
helps.
holding so much in. Right now, me talking to you
Right.
is helping me, because
Right.
I had to realize, it's not nothing to be shameful of having depression, having anxiety. It's nothing.
Right, because we all have a story. We all go through things.
Right.
Sometimes we might not speak about the things that we go through, but we absolutely, as humans, we all go through similar
Right.
situations and similar things.
Right.
Some people suffer from depression that you might know, but it might not be so severe.
Right.
And it might be to the point where it's so severe, but you will never know because they know how to cope with it and cover it up. Behind closed doors, it might be something totally
Right.
different.
And you're right.
Seriously, it might be something
Totally
totally
different.
different. Totally different.
Right. And it's such a taboo, with mental health illness. The world can make you feel shame about it, but I'm learning that it's best to talk about
Right.
whatever I'm going through, and so when I talk about it, it helps me not feel alone,
Got you.
So, because like I said, I've been going through depression, anxiety since I was 18. It started when my mom first got married. It was like a shock. It was some situations that came about that caused me to, feel depression and feel anxiety, and I think I'm coping with it. I'm learning different steps, different techniques to cope with my.
Do you feel as if by your mom getting married or remarried that it might felt like, oh, this man's gonna take away some time from my mom and might hinder my relationship with my mother?
Well, not necessarily. He was mean. You know,
Ooh, I
it was
had a
somewhat
mean
of
stepdaddy
he
like
was
that.
he was mean, he was abusive at times. So, like, you know, when you go through a traumatic event, it causes you to it brings out the mental illness.
Right.
And that's when I noticed. That's when my emotions changed. I noticed, you know.
Right. So trauma kind of triggers it
Right.
for you.
Right. So what triggered me again when I found out my mom had cancer, it's like a trigger happened all over again.
Right.
So I'm learning to cope with this and talk to people like I'm talking to you now.
Right.
So this is helping me.
Right. Because
So-
we're all conductors for one another, like
Right.
a train, like a
Right.
conductor driving a train.
Right.
We drive, we meet somebody, we unload, unwind,
Right.
get it all out, vent,
Right.
and then keep on going.
Keep on
and
going.
then the next person does the same thing.
Right.
Like, we need that for each other.
Right.
We need that outlook where we can just find somebody
Right.
speak to, where you don't feel like you're being judged, you don't feel like someone's being biased to
Right.
you in regards to any situation or any condition that you might have.
Right.
So as far as cognitive therapy and behavior, have you been dealing with, like, when you do therapy with your counselor, do you have a therapist?
I have a therapist.
What are some of the things that y'all do as far as when you express to her about, like, say if you're not having such a great week or such a great day?
We do writing exercises. Like,
what does that look like?
journaling. Like journaling. I've learned, and this has helped me. I have a journal,
Okay.
and whatever emotion that I'm feeling that day,
You
I
write
write
it
it in the
down.
journal, and that's a part of the cognitive therapy.
Yeah, you
It
write
helps
it
me
down.
express, you know, what I'm. Because sometimes you may not be able to verbalize what you're going through, but writing it down, I'm able to write it down. Right.
I get it.
Mhm.
As long as you
It's
find your way.
Yeah, you know, it's different ways. You know, we have to find our way. You know.
What works best for you.
Exactly.
Well,
exactly.
see me, I can't write anything down. I'm more verbal. So I'm going to
See, everybody has different ways.
Exactly, and everybody has different ways of learning. You know how,
Right.
like, some people are visual learners, some
Right.
people are like hands-on. I'm more hands-on.
Right.
It just depends on that person.
Right.
So again, like, I feel like as human beings, you can't put us all in one box.
Right.
Like you said earlier when we were talking, you said something about, what do you do for your job?
I'm a case manager.
You're a case manager, and how does the people that are on your case, how do they feel like they can relate to you?
Because they relate to me because I express to them that I have mental health issues,
Right.
you know, and I tell them, hey, I take my medication, I do the work, and they feel like, and they one guy particularly told me, hey, you look so normal, and I said, okay, well, that's okay, but I, you know, take my medicine and try to do the work, and he was like, okay, well, I'll take my medicine and I'll, you know, try to meditate, and, you know, I try to put I try to get the tools that I get from my therapist, I try to give it to them.
Absolutely.
And it seems to help them.
Hey, if it works, it works.
works.
I was gonna say again when you oh, we're done. We're done. Okay. When you emphasize on putting in the box, right? When you said, the man said, "Oh, you're normal. You seem so normal."
Right.
What? How did you take that? Is there such thing as normal?
I don't know. I think everybody is different. If we all were quote unquote normal, then the world would just be so bland. So I think everybody is different. Everybody has something going on with them, and it's like, as a collective, we come together and try to help them.
Right.
But you know, this right here has been so helpful to me.
Yeah.
And you know what? I think I'm gonna follow up with you,
Okay.
and you know, and talk more about what's going on with me.
Okay, well, I'm gonna keep in touch with you. Next week we're gonna see, like, where your mental's at, how your week been,
Thank
if
you.
anything new happened,
Right.
and if you did go through a depression, how were you able to overcome that?
Right, and I'll write it down.
Yeah.
And we can have something to talk about when I come back.
Absolutely.
Thank you
You're
so
very
much.
welcome, Queen. Thank